Hey everybody, before I get started reading a statement I have prepared to introduce you to the podcast, I just want to say next time I'm on here I'll have the headphones, the microphone, the little podcast crap you normally would see. But right now I'm just trying to figure everything out and try to get this done without any glitches. The main reason I want to do this podcast is to record the stories of the Bravo Company Marines. Whether we like it or not, every Marine that served in Iraq and Afghanistan is walking history, and we need to record that history before it's lost forever. It needs to be passed down to the younger generation. We know damn sure they're not going to read about it. So recording it, having it audible, having video is, I think it's imperative. So I'm hoping everyone will participate because this is your story and we would like to get it out there for everyone. So we'll give it a shot. Those that remember me with 2015 vision, those days are gone. I use readers now, so be gentle with me when you see me at the reunion. Welcome to the Grumpy Gnome I Hate Everything podcast. This show is designed and dedicated to the Marines of Bravo Company 123, the Bastards of Ambar. Each episode will feature a different Marine who will share his experience fighting for the United States Marine Corps and the toll that honorable sacrifice has upon his life and that of loved ones. Bravo Company 123 is the reserve infantry unit no one has heard of, but should. The Marines of that company come from all walks of life, active duty and reserve, to form the deadliest reserve grunt unit ever to be deployed to the battleground of the Al-Anbar province, Iraq, dubbed the Red Triangle. I am your host, Staff Sergeant Jacob Parkinson, commonly referred to as Sergeant Parks. I served in the Marines as a grunt from 97 to 09, active and reserve, with India Company 35, a boat company, and deployed to Iraq with Bravo Company 123, 2004 to 2005. This was after being activated out of the blue off the IRR while I was on the road trip, as a matter of fact. So it does happen. We will cover each Marine's boot camp, activation day, Fort Polk, 2 weeks of training, family day, 29 Palms, desert training, Iraq, coming home, and present life, if they so choose to discuss those topics. Warning, I repeat, warning. This will not be a nice podcast, no way. The emotions and stories are real, some none too pretty. There will be no talk of politics. I say again, no politics. All other topics are open for discussion to include religion. I am a firm believer Bravo Company was watched over by God our whole deployment. There were too many close calls for us not to be in his favor. So I will not bar any talk of religion on the podcast. If offended, skip that episode. My guests are welcome to wear whatever attire they deem comfortable, religious, political, or cause. It matters not and will not take away from the Marine's story or his sacrifice to this country. There will be swearing, drinking, tobacco chewing, smoking, and everything else a grunt does is second nature. Those that want to smoke cannabis on the podcast, just make sure it's legal where you're broadcasting from. Check your local laws. Devils, if you want to join your teammate or squad mate, feel free. Loved ones, you're more than welcome to guest spot with your Marine and learn all you can about his past. We'd love to hear what it was like for you back home and what it was like when they came home. And we'd love to hear your reactions. That's as imperative to the recorded history as anything. My own tale is written in the Last Letter series, so I will not be talking about my life unless asked. The highlights: I graduated boot camp honorman in 1997, recipient of several certificate accommodations and appreciation, meritoriously promoted twice, PFC and corporal. I am 3-year sergeant. Lost half my squad on the April 8th, 2000 Osprey crash. It's a long story and it is written. Awarded the Navy Achievement Medal with V for Combat Valor, Iraq 2004. Received bad paper in Camp Lejeune 2007, which killed my shot at ever reaching gunny. So my Marine Corps career was effectively over. I have an honorable discharge, bachelor's degree in psychology, which only helps me realize I'm fucked. But by creating this podcast, I hope you gain a newfound respect for these warriors, to understand the nature of being a part of the most brutal fighting force on the planet and the undying memories that accompany the deadly occupation of being a grunt. Our country may forget, but the Marines of Bravo Company 123 never will, ever. Semper Fi.